Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. This year, I'm going through the lessons with Jesus and asking for clarification and then writing what comes to me. And that's what I'm sharing today. So let's get started. Today, we're looking at lesson 69. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. Paragraph 1, no one can look upon what your grievances conceal. Because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you, everyone stands in darkness, and you beside him. But as the veil of your grievances is lifted, you are released with him. Share your salvation now with him who stood beside you when you were in hell. He is your brother in the light of the world that saves you both. Because we are one, we stand with our brother wherever he is. If he believes in his guilt, we're all in darkness. This is why I don't want to make anyone feel guilty. I don't want to even think of them as guilty. I remind myself that we exist in the mind, and so what we think matters a great deal. Sometimes someone will act or speak in a way that seems like an attack. There's only one response that I want to have, and that is love. Those who attack are in fear, and love is what they need. And in the same way, if I feel like I'm being victimized or unfairly treated, I want to let the belief go right away. If I feel attacked by anyone, including myself, I have darkened the mind for all of us, and I want to correct that. These grievances are what keep us bound to our illusions and so blind to our reality. I lovingly forgive myself for my errors and thus bring light to everyone. I lovingly forgive the error wherever I find it, and the mind is lightened for us all. Paragraph 2, today let us make another real attempt to reach the light in you. Before we undertake this in our more extended practice period, let us devote several minutes to thinking about what we are trying to do. We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. We're trying to see past the veil of darkness that keeps it concealed. We're trying to let the veil be lifted and to see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. Paragraph 3, let us begin our practice period today with a full realization that this is so, and with real determination to reach what is dearer to us than all else. Salvation is our only need. There is no other purpose here and no other function to fulfill. Learning salvation is our only goal. Let us end the ancient search today by finding the light in us and holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. This is sacred work I do as I practice this lesson. I won't take it lightly. Nothing else I do in the world matters next to this. What I do today is what I came to do. I will approach it as the holy instant that it is and do my best. This practice will be done in confidence because I know who goes with me. It will be done in joy because no matter what happens, it is a step toward salvation. I do this for us all, that we may be released from all pain and suffering. I do it so that we will all remember who we are and where we are. Paragraph 4, very quietly now, with your eyes closed, try to let go of all the content that generally occupies your consciousness. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy, dark clouds. You can see only the clouds because you seem to be standing outside the circle and quite apart from it. From where you stand, you can see no reason to believe there is a brilliant light hidden by the clouds. The clouds seem to be the only reality. They seem to be all there is to see. Therefore, you do not attempt to go through them and past them, which is the only way in which you would be really convinced of their lack of substance. We will make this attempt today. I appreciate the cloud metaphor, as it describes perfectly what it was like for me at the start of my spiritual journey. At first, I thought what I thought with no idea that I could or wanted to go past these thoughts. I never imagined that they were occurring or obscuring my way out of a life that had become painful. Over the years, I've practiced watching my thoughts. In doing so, I have discovered that my thoughts are indeed like clouds, insubstantial. I discovered that they do not rule me and that I can let them go easily when I no longer want them. This is what Jesus is teaching us in this lesson. Paragraph 6. After you've thought about the importance of what you're trying to do for yourself and the world, try to settle down in perfect stillness, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today. Now, determined to go past the clouds, reach out and touch them in your mind. Brush them aside with your hand. Feel them resting on your cheeks and forehead and eyelids as you go through them. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. If you're doing the exercises properly, you will begin to feel a sense of being lifted up and carried. Your little effort and small determination call on the power of the universe to help you, and God Himself will raise you from darkness into light. You are in accord with His will. You cannot fail because your will is His. Just think of that. The power of the universe is helping us as we do this work. God Himself will raise us from the darkness into the light. It is possible to feel this shifting of the mind right in the meditation, or it might occur slowly as we continue to release more grievances in the days ahead. It has worked slowly for me at the pace that I was willing to go, but you cannot fail, and the shift will occur as it did for me. Paragraph 8. Have confidence in your Father today, and be certain that He has heard you and answered you. You may not recognize His answer yet, but you can indeed be sure that it is given you, and you will yet receive it. Try, as you attempt to go through the clouds to the light, to hold this confidence in your mind. Try to remember that you are at last joining your will to God's. Try to keep the thought clearly in mind that what you undertake with God must succeed. Then let the power of God work in you and through you, that His will and yours be done. When I first did this lesson and others like it, I thought nothing was happening and let myself feel discouraged. In spite of that, I kept doing the work daily. Every dark cloud represented grievances that I let go as I could. The result of letting one go was peace, and I learned to crave that peace, so I did the work more diligently. Those failed attempts to reach the light were not failures at all. The power of God was working in and through me at the perfect pace for me. Paragraph 9. In the shorter practice periods, which you will want to do as often as possible in view of the importance of today's idea to you and your happiness, remind yourself that your grievances are hiding the light of the world from your awareness. Remind yourself also that you're not searching for it alone and that you do know where to look for it. Say then, my grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden, yet I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world. Also, be sure to tell yourself, if I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me. If you're tempted to hold anything against anyone today. This is the work that brought me to the shift I so longed for. I was sometimes discouraged as I tried and failed to forgive, but I didn't give up. I knew that it could be done, and I trusted that I was being lifted up in my attempts. With help from our mighty companions, I forgave myself for my past errors. I forgave my projection onto others. I continued to watch my mind and forgive as needed. The difference is that it is easier and faster now. Whatever it takes to reach this shift, it is worth it. Thank you so much for sharing this lesson with me. Thank you for watching my video. If you found it helpful, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with another lesson.